Hi, I'm Alan Finney, and this is what Ayahuasca told me to tell you. So if you've been following these videos at this point, hopefully you've found someone you trust to give you some ayahuasca, and they're going to give you some good quality ayahuasca, and you know what's in it, and you've been on your ayahuasca diet, and you understand the puke bucket is really your friend. Which brings us to today's topic, which is your first ayahuasca ceremony. And the first ceremony is pretty significant for a number of reasons, which I'll get into. But there's no real way to describe an ayahuasca ceremony to somebody that hasn't done one, at least in any meaningful way. And I don't think there's anything that will prepare you for your first ayahuasca ceremony that I'm aware of. So, just try to be humble and open and accept what's going to happen. So, stay calm, take a big breath, and gulp the tea down and off you go. And if there's some apprehension, here's what I tell people. You're going to take some ayahuasca, some shit's going to happen, and then you're going to go to sleep and you're going to wake up the next morning, and that's it. But here's the thing. After your first ceremony, everything's going to be different. Even if you only do ayahuasca once in your life, your world will change. It's that powerful. People have described ayahuasca as 10 years of counseling in one night. Ayahuasca will persuade hardcore drug addicts to quit their drug of choice in one ceremony. So whatever is going to happen to you, it's probably going to be pretty powerful. Or not. It's not guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed. In fact, you have a big role to play in all of this as to what's going to happen. Let me give you an example. A shaman I was working with in Canada had this one guy, and he did a couple of ceremonies, and he said it never affected him at all. And this brings up something that I've always said. You're the one in charge in an ayahuasca ceremony. And my thoughts are this guy just blocked her out. I don't know why you do something like that. Why take ayahuasca if you're going to block it? But that's what I think happened. But if you're seriously looking for real change in your life, there's no doubt in my mind that you can get it in an ayahuasca ceremony. Like I said, provided you're open and receptive to the medicine. Having said all that, here's what could happen in a ceremony. Ayahuasca will show you some things about yourself and then ask you if you want to change it. And if you give her permission and say yes, then off you go. If you say no, then nothing's going to happen. And whatever it is that you and ayahuasca are talking about or looking at or whatever just gets taken care of. And whatever that is may wind up in the puke bucket or wherever, but it's gone, like it never happened. And then you get to deal with the next thing in the next ceremony. It doesn't all happen at once. So whatever happens and however it happens, the programming, your inner program, the subconscious, whatever you want to call it, just gets changed. And I look at it like people are energetic beings. You hear this all the time. You're a spirit having a physical experience. The quantum physicists will tell you a person is more like a musical note than anything else, that we're all connected in a connected universe. And you can talk about it and explain it and yada, yada, yada. But with ayahuasca, you actually get to experience it. And after that experience, nothing is going to go back the way it was. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, or however you want to put it. And the thing is, when you change yourself at a fundamental energetic level, your whole world changes. And because you change, everything in your world changes. Your relationships change. How you understand people, your worldview, it all gets changed in a fundamental, beautiful way. It's a new day, a new dawn. a new life. It's the reset button. People take on certain energetic signatures or characteristics or bad habits or whatever you want to call them. And when that gets changed, it's a domino effect. You're not running the same old patterns because the energy that drives that has just been disrupted. How do you try to explain this? This is the problem when you try to describe an ayahuasca ceremony. And ayahuasca is certainly not the only thing that can do this. Meditation, counseling, Anthony Robbins, church, being born again, I don't know. I never really found anything that gave me the results I was looking for. But once that energy is gone, you are now fundamentally changed as a human being. And that's what you're doing in an ayahuasca ceremony. That's why I take ayahuasca, pure and simple. I'm looking for the upgrade, the new version of the software. And for me, whatever it was I have to do in a ceremony, or whatever visions I see, or whatever crazy shit happens in a ceremony, I don't care. I'm looking for the results. Let me give you an example. I had all this childhood fear or chaos or whatever you want to call it from being raised in alcoholic insanity. And if you would have asked me before my first ceremony, Alan, are you afraid of anything? I probably would have said, hell no, not after what I've been through. But the fact is, the truth of the matter was, and what I understand now is this: all that childhood fear and the shame, the guilt and the anxiety and sadness or PTSD or whatever you want to call it, it's all there just bubbling under the surface, and it was affecting my life. So how are you going to get rid of this? Energy just doesn't go away by itself. You get to keep it. It's a gift from whoever or whatever your situation was. And to get rid of it, you have to disrupt that energy. Einstein said that energy gets conserved. It's there until you push it away. So rather than trying to describe the energy work, I'm going to see if I can give you a visual about what's going on. People are energetic beings, so think of a person as made up of energetic layers, kind of like what you're seeing here. Psychics will tell you that they can read your aura. Well, that's them seeing your energetic signature, for lack of a better term. And when you get into a ceremony, what's really happening is that dark energy, all that nasty stuff, is being driven off. And when that happens, the rest of the lighter energy has room to grow and expand. And that's kind of what's going on in an ayahuasca ceremony at an energetic level. And this is what starts to happen in your first ceremony. But, you know, if you ask me, spend a few hours in a ceremony and you might see some scary shit or find out something you don't like about yourself, or you might puke or whatever, but after that, you're going to get a serious upgrade as a human being. You're going to get the relief you're looking for. So it might be some short-term pain for some long-term gain. Or you might just have a first ceremony that's just lighthearted and joyful and beautiful. I've seen it go both ways. And a lot of people come to ayahuasca as, you know, like a last hope or a last resort. And then they find out there is hope, and away you go. The only question is, how far do you want to go? How much stuff are you going to get rid of? And ayahuasca just comes along and asks you, hey, you want to get rid of that? And if you say yes, then it's like kingo bingo, and it's gone, never to return. Good riddance for that part of whatever you're working on. It can't all happen in one ceremony. That would be a miracle. This is not a miracle. It's a medicine. It's a process. So let's talk about, kind of getting off track here, but let's talk about the ceremony itself. So where I was in Peru, the shaman comes to you with some ayahuasca, and you have a drink, and a lot of people don't like the taste, so you might want to have some water handy to rinse out your mouth. But usually you don't drink water during the ceremony, so hydrate before the ceremony. And then you sit there for a while waiting for the show to start, and then at some point you're probably going to feel some physical things going on, like an energy going through your body or a heat or something. And this is when I would usually go have my ass purge. I'd go sit on the toilet, and after my ass purge, away I'd go. Or maybe you'll throw up or something. I don't know, but at some point, it should be off to the cosmic races, or you've traveled to the spiritual world, or you've entered the quantum universe, or you've accessed the collective wisdom of the collective consciousness, or however you want to put it. And then it's between you and ayahuasca what's going to go on, where you go or what you're going to do. But as I said, nothing happens without your permission and your participation. You can block it if you want, as we've seen. And just looking at the time, I'm going to have to do another video about the first ceremony because I got sidetracked there somewhere. Anyway, I hope you get to that first ceremony or wherever you need to be and find the light and the love and the peace of mind that everyone deserves. It's our human birthright, really. I'm Ellen Finney, and this is what ayahuasca told me to tell you.